Bienvenidos al quinto encuentro global de un curso de milagros a celebrarse el 20 y 21 de septiembre en Málaga, España. Estamos muy contentos de que todos estén aquí acompañando a todos los maestros que están haciendo su presentación de cómo conocieron el curso, cómo se quedaron con él, cómo lo enseñan y cómo ha cambiado su vida. Hoy tenemos la segunda presentación y tenemos a una maestra hermosa que ella es de Alemania, pero ahora mismo está en Suiza. Ella se llama Oomen. Ella es médico general y psicoterapeuta en Alemania, de Alemania. Está en Suiza, repito. Trabaja en su propia consulta en Suiza. Allí ella integra las enseñanzas de un curso de milagros en la medicina. Entonces entró en contacto con un curso de milagros en 2006 y en principio no podía entender bien sus enseñanzas, como a muchos nos pasó. Desde el año 2008 practica Shakti Yoga y meditación de forma intensiva y ese camino la ha preparado para una comprensión mucho más profunda del curso. Ella es ahora guía espiritual en sesiones individuales y enseña el curso en grupos de talleres. Así que Corona además nos va a hablar de ella y nos va a hablar de cómo vivir la vida sin conflictos, cómo lo hace ella día a día, porque es lo que el curso nos enseña, que tenemos que ser felices y no tener conflictos con nadie. Así que Corona, para mí es un honor que estés con nosotras, te doy muchas gracias, con nosotros, te doy muchas gracias que hayas aceptado formar parte del encuentro global este año. Ella va a hablar en inglés, por lo cual activar los subtítulos. Y si tenemos alguna duda, por aquí tenemos la maestra Sharon que nos puede ayudar. Y si no, no te toca hablar en español. Mentira. Encantada, hermosa, bienvenida.
Muchas gracias, Antonia. Me alegro mucho de poder hablar aquí y presentarme por el Encuentro Global. Y sí, que hablo castellano, pero es un vocabulario de cada día. Y el vocabulario del curso de milagros no lo tengo porque no he leído el curso en castellano. Por eso me faltan algunas palabras y pienso que sería mejor de seguir en inglés o cambiar a inglés, uh, porque es más fácil para mí de expresar lo que me
Muy
importa
bien.
decir.
Claro que sí. Siéntete cómoda, mi amor, como tú quieras. Claro que sí. Adelante.
Muchas gracias. Okay, so I would like to start my session with coming into the present moment. That's the way I like to start my psychotherapy sessions with patients too. And that I like to start with groups because it allows us to come into the here and now, come into the present moment, which is the moment of now is where we can find the connection and hear the guidance. So I would like to invite you to, if you like, you can close your eyes. And when I do that, I experience a deep breath coming. So feel free to do as is comfortable for you. To take a deep breath if that feels good. And I like to feel the soles of my feet on the ground. Feel the connection to the ground. And then allow myself to be just here and just now. There's nothing to do for the moment than to sit here. Be here. And we can lead our attention to the perceptions that we can hear outside. I hear the neighbor's kids screaming. They're playing, and that's okay. I can allow all that to be. And I also can hear a cell phone ringing, and that is okay too. I can allow this to be, and by allowing, I enter into this state of allowing, of everything is fine, just the way it is. And that's a relief. The acceptance is a relief because it leads us to forgiveness. And then I would like to invite you to look inside yourself about the perceptions you can feel within your body, which of course are projections from your own mind. The body is neutral, but you can feel the perceptions, the projections of your mind within the body. And there might be a part of the body that feels tense or constricted or even painful. And that's not a very comfortable feeling, but it's okay for now. We can just allow it to be that way. And be with it for a moment. Allow your presence to be with it. And then your presence can envelop this feeling as if you were holding a little bird in your hand, like a little injured bird that you're holding in your hand, and your awareness is offering healing and comfort. And you can allow that comfort, that loving presence to spread through your whole body. And then, in your own time, slowly, without pressuring yourself, you can allow yourself to come back to the Zoom session. Good morning. Thank you for being here. Thank you for holding the space for me, to allow me to teach myself, for giving me that opportunity by your awareness, by listening. As Antonia already said, I discovered the Course in Miracles in 2006, but I was not prepared for it then. There were too many obstacles in the way, and I was not aware of them. I just felt that I didn't understand anything, that I was not able to to grasp the content, what was meant by these words. And so I prayed for a teacher or a master who would show me the way, a living example who I could ask my questions to, because I was not able to receive the guidance from the Holy Spirit. I needed a human being for the translation. And so guidance came in a different way. Two people pointed me to the same teacher, a yoga teacher, Shakti yoga teacher, who was from a Shakti yoga tradition. And he was actually really close to where I lived. And I went on that path with him for 11 years while he still lived. And this way and this teacher, they taught me so much. Turned out, when I had just started, he told me, you know what? The thing is, you can't feel your body. You're not able to be in contact with your own body. And that's because you were traumatized. I know you don't believe me, but I would like to ask you to go to a trauma therapist and get her opinion. So I went there and told her my story, and she said, well, you know, the thing is, you were traumatized, and the healing is to get back to the feeling for your body. I know that's very intimidating and scary to feel again when, for security reasons, you felt you have to shut out your body perception. But that's the way to healing. And the yoga path helped me so much for that healing. And step by step, I regained the feeling in my body. And that somehow this was connected to receiving guidance. And that's why I know that, well, the Holy Spirit uses bodily perceptions that we interpret as being from the body as a means of communication. And being able to feel allows you to feel guidance too. And I noticed how my ability to receive guidance grew better and better by allowing feelings. I'm very grateful for that path. Because before I had been just oriented towards the outside for guidance. I was not able to feel it for myself, and that was so, well, I felt so insecure. I always needed other people to tell me what was good or bad or right or wrong, or to tell me what was appropriate in that situation, because I was not able to feel it. And then, after a few years, this changed dramatically. Suddenly, I felt within myself what was the right way to cope with that situation or to react to that person. And that was crucial to my profession too, because being a doctor, a general practitioner, and family doctor, that you need a lot of intuition for that, or what we call guidance. And you need to feel the people, and you have to feel yes, to get that connection, to feel, to get into their experience of the world, to be able to help. To be able also to receive the guidance, how to help this specific person. Yeah. And also what the Shakti Yoga path gave me was this, it's working very much with the chakras, with the Hora center, which gives stability to your mind. Because of course the mind and thoughts are energy. And I felt how through the yoga exercises, a development took place where I became calmer and calmer. And that helped me a lot. And that's crucial too, to leading a life without conflicts. And I'm not claiming to lead a life without conflicts, not at all. That's the subject of what Antonia asked me to talk about here. And I'm on that path. And of course, no one of us is completely free of the ego. And where the ego shows up, conflicts will arise. But we have ways to look at these things, to deal with situations, to forgive ourselves, right? Because it's all about forgiveness. I will forgive and this will disappear. So conflicts can be a blessing to remind ourselves or to make ourselves aware where the points are, where we're still attached, where we still have ego thoughts or our own healing plans, because that's what the ego does, right? The ego is trying to find his own strategies to find healing, find security, and for me, life is to be aware of these seductions, how the ego seduces you into new healing plans and tries to get you to cling to these ego healing plans. And then it takes a lot of awareness to say, oh, wait a moment, but what does the Holy Spirit say to this, right? And clinging to our own healing plans is one of the things where conflicts arise, right? Because we're clinging to a certain strategy. We are not in the holy instant. We are not opening to love and to guidance, but we think, oh, I really have to go shopping now because I ran out of bread or something like that. It's a healing plan too. I don't want to be hungry. I really need to get food. And when we forgive, that we're clinging to needs, right? We're clinging to needs. And Course in Miracles tells us where needs are illusions. But to be honest, sometimes when I'm hungry, it's really hard to think of hunger as an illusion. Right? Do you know that feeling? So in everyday life, needs are still a reality. And what can help is forgiveness, and then ask for guidance and ask for the Holy Spirit to provide or show us the way to fulfill our needs. And that's where we get everything together, when we invite the Holy Spirit into these needs. and ask for guidance how to deal with that situation now. Today's lesson is about conflicts too, right? It's a 196. It can be, but myself I crucify, which is about conflicts too. Where actually this subject of conflicts is really huge. And it's very closely related to forgiveness. Because, of course, forgiveness is the path out of conflicts, right? And today's lesson reminds us that we have all the power. The power of decision is my own. And if I decide to crucify myself or to hold my brother guilty, which is crucifying him, which is crucifying myself, then it's hard to find peace. And the beautiful thing about today's lesson is that it gives me all the power back, because it reminds me that it's all in my own mind, that I have all the power. I can find a solution in my own mind. I noticed that a lot of conflicts arose in my life because I was trying to prove my innocence. And that was always about, who's right here? I want to be right. But then when I'm right, I'm the good one, and the other one is the bad one, and that can't be, right? We're oneself. So that must be an illusion. And it doesn't work either, because I think the other one is the bad one, then I'm seeing only my projection. Perception is all about projections. And that's what today's lesson reminds us of, right? That I crucify myself because I have these ego thoughts within me, and I project them to the outside world, and then conflicts arise. And that's because of the illusion of separation. When I want others to prove me that I'm innocent, or to testify for my innocence, I'm trying to get them. I want something from them. And that's specialness. That's when I want something from anyone else, that leads to a special relationship, and that doesn't work. Well, not for peace anyway. For conflict, it does work, but not for peace. So the solution would be to forgive myself, to take back the projection and ask myself, what do I blame the other person for? And when was I like that? And then invite the Holy Spirit to help me to forgive myself. And that's something I can do for myself. I don't need anyone else to help me with that. All I need is a bit of contemplation, meditate for a moment, invite the Holy Spirit into this, and then ask for the truth. And many times that works fine. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it's just too hard to find that forgiveness, to be able to allow it. Sometimes the ego is really clinging to that blame. And even when you, well, talking about me, a few weeks back, I thought, well, actually, it's so easy. I just have to forgive. And then everything that's not nice will disappear. Everything that's not love will disappear if I just forgive. It's so easy. Let's do it. I'll forgive every minute, every situation. And then a worker who I needed to fix something in my house called me and said, hey, I can't come on Thursday. I'll come on Friday. And I said, oh, okay. I wanted to see a friend on Friday and her baby, but okay. If you only can come on Friday, okay, I'll stay at home. I'll tell my friend that I can't come. It's a shame. I haven't seen her for months, but okay. So, but that's I need that to be done. That's the need again, right? We just talked about if I need something from anyone else, that leads to a special relationship. And then this worker didn't show up on Friday. I was at home all day waiting for him, trying to call him, and he didn't show up. Man, was I angry. And I thought, okay, I'm angry now. And I decided to forgive at every moment, in every situation. And look where I am now. Yes. So it took a while in that situations when that's persistent. I use Ho'oponopono. You know, I say I'm sorry. You know Ho'oponopono, right? I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. And I said a lot of I love you to the worker in my mind. I love you. I love you. Okay. Remind yourself, if you're not forgiving, if you hold that grudge, you can't see, you don't have a good connection to the Holy Spirit. You're not at peace. Everything you want depends on your forgiveness. Come on, girl. Okay, so finally I got myself to forgive. It was such a relief. And then the miracle happened. Actually, a miracle happened. This worker didn't show up, but another worker whom I had been waiting for 15 months, he showed up in the evening. It was amazing. I thought, thank you so much, Holy Spirit, and thank you so much to the other worker, because you made me forgive that thing about unreliability of workers. Thank you so much. That's how we heal. So sometimes it's really hard. I mean, my life didn't depend on this, you know? But somehow it was hard anyway, because I had this healing plan that I wanted the warm water to work. I mean, okay. So, yeah. What we can ask ourselves, well, what helped me was to remind myself that I wanted peace of mind. And that when I hold on to grudge, things just don't work out. I have had this experience so many times. And that experience of messing things up by holding grudge helped me a lot in that situation to let go. And yeah, it's always the question, right? Do I want the connection, or do I want to be right and to blame and support the separation and show everyone that I'm better with this, which is specialness too. I'm the good one, you're the bad one. And that leads us out of unity. And forgiveness, also a few weeks back we had that lesson 181. I trust my brothers who are one with me, that reminded us that it's so important to see innocence in your brother, because only then can you see innocence within yourself. And it's such a bad feeling not to feel innocent. Like I told you at the beginning of this workshop, that I found out that innocence was really what I was looking for in relationships, and in that innocence was what I really was longing for. I was feeling guilty many times. I didn't really realize it was guilt, but when someone told me you are innocent, I felt like, wow, that's great. And then gradually, step by step, by analyzing situations, I realized, hey, it's really innocence I'm looking for. And that's so basic and so important, because our holiness depends on it. Not really, of course, it's all an illusion. Guilt is an illusion, and we are holy no matter what we think about ourselves. But accepting our holiness is crucial to entering the holy instant. Right? That's chapter 18:5. Accepting my innocence is crucial for entering the holy instant. And that's what we want, because that's where we are happy. That's the only place where we can be happy, right? In the holy instant. So, the innocence is really what we are looking for. And testifying for the innocence of our brothers can help us to recognize our own innocence. Isn't that beautiful? Wow, I'm so grateful for that. Because it's so easy. It's so much easier to testify for your brother's innocence than for your own. Did you notice that? So it's so much easier to forgive your brother than to forgive yourself. Not always, but many times. And the Course in Miracles tells us on nearly every page, in nearly every lesson, how crucial forgiveness is. Forgiveness is the key to happiness, because it allows us to accept my innocence, my holiness, and enter the holy instant. And forgiveness is my only function here. It's all over the whole book, this forgiveness thing, because it's so easy, and you can do it every day and every minute. Just be aware of your judgments. And I mean every minute. I noticed when I tried to forgive everything that actually every minute I'm starting to have a judgment. Oh, the coffee is cold, or I don't know what. Yes, and also when we forgive, this is a real source of independence. We are independent of what our brothers do or say or want us to do. We can just forgive everything, and then we are independent. we don't need the brother to really do anything for us, because that's just alternative healing plans, what we want, right? We ask for guidance and we'll receive what we want. But that's sometimes hard, I know, for me too. But in the theory. And that also helps us not to fall into that trap to try to get our brothers to change, because that will lead to conflict too. People don't like to be corrected. And the Course in Miracles tells us we're not supposed to correct our brothers. That's Handbook for Teachers, chapter 17. We are not supposed to try to change our brothers. We're not supposed to correct them. That's not the path. The path is to forgive everything within me. So that means if I am having a conflict with my partner, might be rough for a few minutes, and then everyone goes their way and forgives for themselves. And then after 5 or 10 minutes, we come together again, and he hugs me and says, "Whoa, you know what? I had these ego thoughts. I thought that relationship doesn't work. Did you feel the same way?" And I said, "Yes." I had these crazy thoughts too for a moment there. Isn't that funny? That's such a beautiful way of, well, not sticking to the specialness, not needing the other person to do anything or to be someone else than they are. Which, as I see in my psychotherapy practice, creates a lot of problems trying to get your partner to change. It's creating so much conflict. Oh my God. But it's always about awareness. I have these, when I have lots of things to do, like I have to prepare this and I have to, and then I'm all the day in the consulta, and one patient after the other, and I don't have time to stop and consider, then sometimes I get hooked by these ego thoughts. Well, I think that happens to all of us. And then it's all about getting back. Okay, what is really important? Do I want to be right, or do I want to have the connection? And if I want my partner to be different, that means this is not holy relationship, this is special relationship. And I know that that doesn't work. So, okay. Let's get back to the Holy Spirit and ask him for the truth. Thank you so much that we can always come back to you and ask for the truth. Thank you so much. Also, one other thing of the psychotherapy patients is that many times the ones who are into the Course in Miracles, they come and they say, "This I have a conflict with that person because she has a projection on me." So I'm the victim, right? She's the one who's projecting. So I'm the victim and I can't do anything. And the Course in Miracles tells us everything we see is a projection. Perception is projection. You can project love and then you'll see love. Or you can project ego and then you'll see ego. So you're not the victim. I think that happens to all of us too. Sometimes I catch myself having that thought too. Oh, he's having a projection on me. And I'm so grateful to always to be led back to, but this cannot be, right? because when I'm in the holy instant, I'm complete love and peace and harmony. And then I'm not even, then I can just approach my brother with love, whatever he's doing. So they say there's always two people to a conflict, and every one of us has the power to resolve it. Because I don't know if you have that experience too, but as soon as I forgave, the projection is not there anymore and the conflict will dissolve. Somehow it's not in my awareness anymore. And sometimes the hard part is the one to forgive, to really forgive. And it's so good to see your mirror, to see your mind's mirror in your brother. So you know, oh, when there's peace, must have worked. I really forgave. Oh, no peace. Okay, let's go back to forgiveness. Needs a bit more. And sometimes, of course, it's not so easy. It's not so easy sometimes it happens also to all of us that at some days we don't have that much energy and that we are needier than normally and that that it's really hard to, well, for example, when I'm home with my child and I'm sick and I have a headache and I'm waiting for my husband to come home, sometimes it's hard to have that energy to remind yourself that it's all in your mind and that you can decide to be healed. Sometimes it's really hard to get out of there if you don't have that energy and you haven't slept enough. Or a friend of mine always says the energy for the day is like a glass with marbles. And when you don't sleep enough, you give away marbles. And when you receive a bad message that you judge as being bad, you give away marbles. And then sometimes there's not much energy left. And then it's really hard to stay calm and focused and attentive. And that's normal too, happens to all of us. And then sometimes it's really hard to fulfill your own how you would like to be, you know? I think we all feel that way sometimes. And that's where I really like to, I really evaluate nonviolent communication too, because that's like the Course in Miracles says, all human expressions are either love or a call for love. And I feel that nonviolent communication helps me a lot to be gentle with people and to answer their call for love in an adequate manner. Somehow it's for me, it's a tool, but it has this whole, how would I express that? That whole way of thinking behind it, you know? It helps me immensely in the practice, in the medical practice and in psychotherapy, to have that tool of nonviolent communication to give patients empathy with what they are coming with. And empathy, of course, is love. It's love being expressed can be still, you don't have to talk. You can be empathic in a quiet way, or you can express it in words. And the nice thing is that the Holy Spirit will show you what is adequate at that moment, what helps the person most. And it's very, yes, it's very gentle. Empathy is also, it's forgiveness, right? Because we express, for example, what we feel the other person is feeling. And expresses in a way that's completely accepting and, yes, empathic. And it helps people so much. They feel that you understand them, and that helps them so much. And also the other way, to show yourself, to express yourself, show your vulnerability. It helps people so much to open up and show their vulnerability. And that's where real connection starts. Because, of course, we are all holy. But trying to pretend to be holy when we don't feel holy is not what the Course in Miracles is about. It's more about being authentic and giving to the light what is really there, showing what is really there. And that helps so much. Many times when I have a hard time forgiving, I'm looking for brothers who I can tell, can you help me forgive, please? This is the situation. And then we all sit there quietly, everyone forgives, and then suddenly everything opens up in my heart. Have you felt that? Have you had that experience when when you're really clinging to that situation and you really have a hard time forgiving, and then you're sharing it with someone who knows about the projection thing and about the Course in Miracles, and you tell them, please help me forgive. And I experience that as being so, so helpful. It helped me immensely to resolve situations by just telling about it and having people helping me to forgive in their mind. And as our minds are joined, we can help each other that way. That's so beautiful. Oh,
Thank you.
I'm so grateful for
Thank
that.
you. Thank you,
Oh,
Maestra.
I'm
Gracias.
sorry, I'm already
Se nos
over
acabó el tiempo.
time.
Se acabó el tiempo. No, ¿me entiendes? Estoy encantada de escucharte. Muchas gracias por estar aquí. Me gusta. Tenemos que recibir el próximo maestro y no nos queda tiempo,
Claro.
pero estoy segura que la traducción ha sido muy buena. Seguro Sharon, diga, ¿verdad? La traducción de los subtítulos. Sharon, te presento a Sharon, nuestra querida maestra. Ella estaba allí en Emergente por si tú necesitabas traducción.
Ah, qué bien,
Encantada.
muchas gracias.
Así. Entonces, ella está en Panamá. Entonces, gracias, Corona. Déjanos saber, tú sé que tienes un grupo, porque has dicho de Telegram, por si alguien quiere comunicarse contigo o interesada en tus clases, pero en medio minuto, porque necesito recibir al profesor y terminar el programa. Y muchas, muchas gracias por estar aquí. Quédate con nosotros.
Compartir el grupo de
Dime
Telegram. Voy a poner mi contacto de Telegram aquí en el chat. ¿O
en el
cómo?
chat. Sí, puede ser en el chat por si
Ujú,
alguien quiere conectar con la maestra, porque ella no usa redes sociales, pero
ujú.
tiene grupo de Telegram por si acaso quieren compartir con ella o sentirla, pues
Bueno, sí,
ella nos va a
el
dejar allí.
grupo está en alemán, pero puedo compartir mi contacto de Telegram. Es
Ok,
más fácil, ¿no? Bueno.
tenemos maestros aquí en alemán. Lo que pasa es que hoy no están
Ah,
aquí, te van a ver grabados. Sí, sí. Tenemos maestros en alemán.
mm, perfecto.
Entonces, seguramente, mientras tú lo pones, les repito a todos que estos workshops quedan grabados en nuestro canal de YouTube para que lo puedan volver a ver, poder sentir. Me encantó tu intervención, Corona, muchas gracias. A mí particularmente me encantó, llena de sensibilidad y de ejemplos y de verdad. Y de verdad estoy muy, muy contenta de que estés aquí con nosotros. Y va a quedar grabado en el canal de YouTube que se llama Encuentro Global UCDM y también aquí en la página web que se llama encuentroglobalucdm.org en el área de grabaciones. Así que, bueno, aquí tienen, nos dejó aquí la maestra su grupo y ya lo tenemos. ¿Lo tenemos? ¿Lo pusiste? Ok,
No, no, no estoy mirando, no estoy
no le,
muy...
no lo has puesto. Bueno,
Necesito
porque
un poco de tiempo con Telegram, pero sí.
si quieres, después
Lo
que
miro, estoy mirando.
como te vas a quedar, podemos cerrar esta grabación, recibir al próximo maestro, pero lo escribes en el chat. Ningún problema. ¿Te parece?
Mm, sí. Em, bueno, pienso que lo más fácil es de poner mi número, eso es más fácil para mí. Lo siento mucho, es que con Telegram, con todos estos canales,
Está bien, está bien.
eso
No
es lo
problema.
más fácil.
Lo que sea más
Eso es
cómodo
mi,
para ti.
sí, eso es el número. Y funciona con Telegram, WhatsApp y
Ok,
otro.
perfecto, perfecto. Allí tenemos el
Muchísimas
número
gracias, Antonio.
49-173-4543-18. Muchísimas
Eso.
gracias a ti y bueno, encantada de conocerte, de saber de ti y saber que estás con nosotros. Ha sido para nosotros, para mí un espejo, una proyección preciosa. Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias a ti.